Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Time to take that walk and go see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from Demented Brewing Company. They're out of Middlesex, New Jersey. And this is their Double Dementia. And it is an 8.5%er. It says here the IBUs are 100. So, big bitterness, and hopefully it's going to be a balanced beer. And it's not going to be too bitter on the back end. A lot of us guys that are hopheads like that bitterness a lot of times on these double IPAs, but 100 IBUs, this would not be one of the first ones I would try if I was trying to get into the double IPA category, because there's a lot of IBUs, a lot of bitterness, but evidently that tells me they've used a lot of sweet malt in the brewing process that they need to have that much bitterness to balance out the beer. Hopefully that's the case. We shall see. This was sent to me by my brother Rico, and he writes 8.5 double IPA, 100 IBUs. Picked up a 4-pack a couple of days ago at the store, and it was $16. So that's $4 a pop there, guys. Canned on March 24th, 2017. Today is April the 10th. No, it ain't. It is May the 10th. So we're looking at April 24th would have been a month. So we're looking at 5 to 6 weeks old here. So, and he says they distribute it only in New Jersey. So you have to get it there if you want to get it. But it is distributed, so it should have a date on the bottom of the can if they're distributing it, and it does. Thumbs up to those guys for stepping on my plate and putting a canned on date on it. Not a best buy, used by, enjoy by, whatever by date. And I don't see any IBUs listed on the can, but it does have the ABV and the date. So 2 out of 3 isn't too awful bad. Up here it says on top, insanely flavorful ales. So I'm hoping that's the case. So Rico, thanks again, my brother. I do appreciate you sending this to me. Let's see what the Demented Brewing has to offer today. Commercial description says reserved for the most internal of palates. Not internal, infernal. That F looks like a T, especially on these old eyes. Double Dementia is a simple collection of classic West Coast hops blended with malts the color of hellfire. Just the right amount of bitter followed by an explosion of juicy citrus flavor blended with bright floral aromas. Drinking easier than any Imperial IPA should. This beer is evil. That's what we love about it. So let's get this thing, just pop a top on this thing. And while I get it into the glass, I will tell you, cuisine is barbecue, cheeses are peppery, Monterey, pepper jack, sharp, blue, cheddar. Your stronger cheeses go well with this. Leaves game, grilled meat, and salmon. And a glass for a snifter tulip oversized wine glass. I got my favorite snifter. It's pouring a fairly large head, so let me back off on that aggressive pour. And it's an 8.5%er, so they tell us you can cellar it, but that would be a mistake. Don't cellar your IPAs or double IPAs. Good 2 fingers of head on that pour, so it seems to be very well carbonated. I can see the light through it. It is a darker amber color. Good looking head. I didn't quite want that much head on the beer, but it is what it is. I didn't pour it super aggressive, so it seems to be very well carbonated and seems to be a filtered beer on top of that. So let's get a nose to it. Now, about being a big West Coast style, not so sure I would agree with that on the aroma. It does have some nice citrusy notes and grapefruit. I am getting a little bit of maltiness there though, and a lot of times you'll get that on a double IPA because they use a lot of malt to produce 8.5%. But to me on the aroma, it doesn't jump out as a West Coast style to me, guys. More of an East Coast style in the aroma. But the taste may change my opinion, so let's do that. Cheers everybody, cheers Rico. Alcohol is very well hidden for an 8.5%. It doesn't seem to be quite balanced as far as the malt and the hops. Doesn't seem to be too bitter for 100 IBUs. But I don't think I would call this a West Coast style. It doesn't have that big up in your face pine, grapefruit, pineapple aroma or taste. To me guys, this is more of an East Coast style. Yeah, I'm just not getting that super pungent hop aroma or taste on the beer. That may have been a mistake. No, it's going to stay in the glass. Very well carbonated. We can see that. Yeah, very well carbonated. Not over carbonated, but very well carbonated. It does seem to be a nice balance of the hops and the malt that they've used on this, but it's not that super pungent, heavy pine, grapefruit, dank style that the West Coast does a lot of times. Well, it's right out of the fridge. Let's see if it opens up a little bit more and we get more of those hop profile and aromas as it warms up. Kind of doubt it, but we shall see. We shall see. Very colorful artwork on the can, and it is a plain Jane silver can with a shrunk wrap label that they've heated and put onto the can. So, and that saves them some money than actually having a can produced. And I've noticed a lot more of the breweries are going to that, either a plain Jane stick-on or a heat-shrunk plastic outside wrap on the can. So, well, let's sip on it, let her taste it, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. Awesome lacing is left on the glass. We'll give them that. Date on the bottom of the can, we will give them that. ABV on the front of the can. Very nice. Everything except for the IBUs. Would like to see that big 100 IBUs written on there, but you can find it if you search for it. But you shouldn't have to do that when you're in the beer store. That's where I'm going to leave that. I don't think it's a West Coast style beer, guys. Even though it says there in the description, classic West Coast hops. So they may have used West Coast hops, but they didn't use a whole lot of them to get that big pungent up in your face hop aroma or taste. But I do think it's a well-made beer for an East Coast style. The hop profile and the malt seems to be very well balanced. The hops are not up front. It's not a double dry hopped or anything like that to have a super pungent hop aroma or hop taste. Basically a typical East Coast style beer to me, with a nice balance between the malt and the hops. Nothing's overpowering anything else. The bitterness for 100 doesn't seem to be excessive. It seems to be appropriate for the malt that they've used in this beer. So, well, it's decent beer, but definitely not to the A category or outstanding or world class in my opinion. Just my humble opinion. Final joke. Decent beer. I think the alcohol is super well hidden for an 8.5%. I will say that. To me, guys, it's a B beer. That's where I'm going to put it. Right down the middle of the B group. 85 for me. Over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says 84. I'm giving it a better grade than these guys are. 1 digit off, but it's a better grade. Over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer has no score. They don't have 10 people that have commented. Let's see how many have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're only 1 away from posting a grade scale on it. So, and for our final check-in, we'll run over to Untapped, and they have it at 3.79, which is their B+ range. Just barely into the B+ range. I would probably have gone there if they just said East Coast style on the can or in the description, but saying it's a West Coast style or a West Coast style using their hops, they may have used their hops, but they didn't use enough of them for me to say it's a West Coast style. I didn't get that super hoppy, pungent aroma or taste of the hops in the beer. East Coast style to me, guys. So that's where I'm going to put it, and that's why the grade reflects that. So, if you've had this one from Demented Brewing Company, the Double Dimension, I think some people call it Double D. Let me know what you think. I thought it was tasty, but nothing to write home about. Nothing outstanding or world class. Decent. Definitely decent. Alright, if you had it, let me know. Come on back tomorrow. Let's go see what's in the fridge. See you then.